Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Chef ABOMB. Now today I'm going to be making shepherd's pie. Now I've always liked shepherd's pie, and even in today's market you can make shepherd's pie for your family for probably about $15 or so. And I'd say that'd serve about 5-6 people, maybe even more depending on how much you eat. So get ready and let's go, and let me show you how to do it. Alright everyone, shepherd's pie, one of my favorites. Ingredients as follows. We got a couple pounds of burger, we got some corn, some cheddar cheese, some onions, I got 2 onions, and then I got about, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, about 8 potatoes there, russet potatoes. So what we're going to do, we're going to peel our potatoes, cut them slightly small, not too small, but just small enough to where they're going to boil fairly quickly. And I got some water on the stove back there that's just about boiling. We'll add that right to that, and we'll cook our potatoes down. Then we're going to dice up a couple onions and start that in a pan over there as well with a little bit of olive oil, cook it down a little bit. Then we're going to add the ground beef, cook that down till it's all browned up, and when that's done we're going to set it to the side. We're going to pull out our potatoes when they're done, strain them, make some mashed potatoes, and then we're going to layer as follows. We're going to put down our ground beef and onion mixture first, a little bit of corn next, then our potatoes, our mashed potatoes that we'll be making, and then a little bit of cheddar cheese on the top, and we're going to bake that at about 400 for probably about 25 minutes or so. But give me 1 second here, and here we go. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to get this out of the way for a moment. Put our onions up in here. Get our knife to the side, ready to go. And we're just going to start peeling these potatoes. Yeah, like I said, with these potatoes, we're going to cut them a little smaller, but not tiny or nothing. I don't want them to be mush. And we're going to boil them for a little bit and make some good mashed potatoes to go on top of our shepherd's pie. Whenever I'm peeling a potato, I like to put one end down just like this. A lot of times people are doing it right in their hand the whole time, but I like to have it right on the table, and I can just go around quick like that. Okay everyone, we got our potatoes peeled. On to the next step. We're just going to take them back out of the bowl, and we're just going to cut them up a little small, but not tiny. I just want them to boil fairly quick. So I'm just taking them, cutting them in half, cutting these in half again, and making some smaller medium pieces. And these are going to go directly to the pot of water on the stove. Probably take about 20 minutes or so, maybe a little more. Just check it with a fork or whatever. You'll see the texture you're looking for. You don't want it mush. You want it a little bit firm. And the potatoes are all chopped up. We're going to take the potatoes right over to the stove like I promised before. Then we got our pot of water right here. There we go. Already put it up to temperature a little bit. Get the party started. There we go. I'm going to throw just a little bit of salt in there. We're going to turn it up on high and let it do its magic. And if it gets to boiling over, we'll turn it down a little bit, and so on and so forth. Back to the cutting board table. We're going to take these 2 onions, cut the ends off like so, score it just enough to go through that first layer. Same with the second. Take the ends off, score it just to go through that first layer, and we're going to peel it. If I can. Yeah, sometimes, you know, these little things will make you want to peel a whole nother layer off, but not today. We got it. Alright. Now, I'm gonna go, where's that spot again? Right there. Just like so. Okay. Beautiful. Take this, I got a garbage right here. And we're just gonna take and dice it. I like putting onion in everything, to be honest, so you can do this without onion if you don't like onion, but I always like to put onion in almost everything I make. There you go, nice small dice. Which way I cut it again? Slice right down this, like so. And that just helps you get a smaller dice. Which I just want these like, I don't want it to necessarily be like chunks of onions. I want this just to be flavor and part of the whole shepherd's pie. Bring the flavor to the whole thing. Alright. Just like so. And sometimes I like to cut it all that way. You probably won't see many people do this, but I've never met anyone else that does this, but this is how I like to do them sometimes. I don't even got to chop them. When I get up here, I don't even have to do that now. But it is a little messed up though. So, here we go. And any smaller pieces, we'll just finish like that. There we go. Alright, there's the rest of that. And this, we're just going to take over to a hot pan in a moment and saute it down a little bit, and then we're going to add our burger. Okay, we got our pan nice and hot now. We're going to add just a little bit of vegetable oil. Always hot pan, cold oil whenever you're cooking almost anything. And that prevents a lot of sticking and just makes it more even cooking. Or even sear or whatever. Doing a steak. Today we're just doing onions. Mix all that oil in real quick. Now before I add any salt, I like to cook it down a little bit. Let it reduce on its own, or render on its own, whatever. Cook down. Not render, that'd be liquid. And just stir it just a touch, let that heat get to it. So I'll give it another minute or so and then we'll add our salt. Okay guys, it's about a minute later. I just gave it one more little stir and I'm going to add a couple pinches of salt. Now, don't be afraid of salt, I'd say, but don't be its best friend either. You know, you got to have a limit with it and know what you're putting in. So since this is going in with some hamburger and stuff, I gave it a little extra because I know it's just going to really add a lot of flavor to that hamburger if I do that. So I go a little heavy. I'm going to do a little bit of pepper, just so you can see a light little dust over the whole top. I don't know how well the camera's really picking it up, but see if I can go a little closer for a minute. There we go. I don't know if that worked, but hey, maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Now we're going to add just a little bit of garlic powder. So far just salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. And I go a little heavier on the garlic powder. And then we're just going to stir this right in. Like so. Whatever utensil you got. I got my old plastic, Old Faithful, just at home cooking, so this will work. Shepherd's pie for dinner. And as soon as this reduces just a little bit more, or cooks down, I keep saying reduce, as soon as it cooks down just a little more, we're going to add our ground beef. Okay, in preparation for the ground beef. I just made a little space in the middle there. And now we're just going to break this down. At first I'm going to let the meat kind of just sit in there without worrying about stirring up the onion. Just going to chop it down. As soon as I get it to a little smaller pieces, so to speak, we'll incorporate the onion to it. First we just want to get a little space between the meat and itself. That way it cooks down a little better. Okay, at this point we can add our onion to it, and that'll help cook too, because all the onion's hot, and the onion's going to start heating up the burger, and it's also going to stop the onion from cooking too much or burning, and all these things are happening right now. And as soon as I get this to like the consistency I'm looking for, I'm going to season again. I always season every step of the way. Whatever I'm cooking, I season multiple times, and it always seems to work for me. And always taste your food when it's done, and after a while you're going to get an idea of what you need to add and what you don't need to add. We're going to do a little salt. We're going to do 2 pinches of that. And I'm just using the kosher salt, lake salt, a little bit of garlic powder, not garlic, not garlic salt. You don't want to use that because that'll add way too much salt, but garlic powder. And there's a little pepper, once again. And then we're going to take this, and we're going to mix it again. And you can see it really don't take too long for this to all come together and the meat to be cooked. And we're not going to cook it like crazy in this pan anyways, because it's going to be going into the oven. We're just going to render all this down and get all the any kind of fat that comes out of it, and take that out if needed. But it's looking like it was a pretty lean batch, so I'm not really seeing a ton of that I'll have to even take out. We're just going to cook it down until it's not pink anymore, and then we'll set it to the side, and I'll bring it back when it's time to mash the potatoes. Alright, it's looking like the potatoes are done. I'm going to take them, dump them into the strainer. I'm just trying to get some of the water out first, so I'm not splashing into a pool of hot water. Just like so. I'm going to take some butter. We'll do about a half a stick of butter. And I'm going to break that in half again. Just to make it melt faster. And the potatoes, we're going to get all the water out. Get the butter in the middle. And add that. Potato there. Take it right back over here to the stove. Go. Take our masher. Whoop, hit the camera. I'm just going to mash it down, try to melt in the butter a little bit before we add a little bit of milk. Like that. Next we're going to add some salt now. Do that twice, 2 good pinches. A little bit of pepper. A little bit of garlic. Mix it in real quick. I'm just going to add some milk. Start with just a little touch. See what that does. We want it nice and creamy, but not like a soup. And whenever I'm making potatoes too, I'll give them a little taste. See if they're the way I want them. After they're all mixed. There we go. Just give that a little in the top. Tastes great. Alright. We're going to take our meat right here that we cooked earlier. We're going to put it right to the bottom of the pan we're going to be using. Just like so. Spread this out. Just like that. Then we're going to get our corn. Sprinkle some corn in there. You do a fair amount. Maybe a little more than fair. I like corn. And guys, all this stuff cost me less than 15 bucks. Which is crazy. This will feed a ton of people. We're going to come over and we're going to start grabbing some of our potatoes. I'm going to try to put it in a way where I can spread it easy. Scraping the old pot over here, getting the extra. Just like this. And we're going to switch to this, make it a little easier. Probably gonna grab a glove too because this stuff is hot, and I don't want potatoes all over my hands. Okay. There we go. Now some people will cook it just like this and throw some ketchup on it or something like that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just throwing a little cheese on the top. We'll put it in the oven, about 400, probably about 25 minutes. Just keep your eye on it. Leave it uncovered. If you wanted your potato more toasted on the top, you could always put the cheese on top of the corn, or just not put cheese at all if you don't want cheese. Just like that, guys. Go around, clean the edge real quick. A little extra potato there. here. Now that I got my glove on, I'll just grab it with my hand. Just like so. Alright. Then we got our cheddar cheese. Take, sprinkle this over the top. And not only was this only about $15, there's leftovers too. Like I'll still have cheese left over, I still got corn left over, I still got potatoes that aren't even cooked yet that I can make something else with. Which I got a couple videos in mind I was gonna put out probably within the next few days here. Hopefully I do get them out and get a little more content for you guys. But if you haven't yet, just like and subscribe and you'll get some more dinner ideas and little bits and pieces of my life when I go somewhere or do something. Just what I got going on, you know. Alright, I think that's about enough cheese. Maybe just a little more for the cheese lovers. There we go. Alright guys, like I said, I'm going to put this into the oven about 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. We'll see you when it comes out. And, oh wait, what was I thinking? Let me give you a good little view of this up close before it goes into the oven. It's going to be quite a bit of food. Like I said, that'll feed 6 people easy, and that was less than $15, and I got leftovers. Let's go. Alright everyone, here's our shepherd's pie. Fresh out the oven. We got it a little bit golden with some of the cheese on top here. Now, like I was saying in the beginning, there's all sorts of ways to make this. You know, sometimes I like to put a little gravy in there too in the bottom. People like that a lot of times. But today I just wanted to go with the meat and the onion and whatever liquid that provided. And our mashed potato, our corn, and a little bit of cheddar cheese. And like I said, guys, this was about $15, and I still got leftovers from it. So here, we'll go ahead, we'll take this corner right here, scoop it up onto a plate. There we go. Delicious. And I think I'm going to be eating even more than that, so we're going to go one more time. There we go. Just like that, guys. There we go. It's a nice shepherd's pie. Looks delicious. I'm sure it's going to taste delicious. And an update on the time and temperature, it was about 400 degrees, about 40 minutes it took. And there it is, guys. Shepherd's pie. Hey, thanks for sticking around till the end, everyone, and I very much appreciate it. So if you could like and subscribe to my channel, Chef ABOMB, and I'll try to get out some more food content and also content just concerning my life and things I got going on. I like to put a little bit of this and a little bit of that out there. But if you enjoyed this cooking video and you want to try it yourself and maybe want to check out some of my other ones, or some that I don't even have out yet, because you got to subscribe to see those ones. So if you could do that, like and subscribe, I would appreciate it very much. And I'll see you on the next one, guys.